Hey guys, welcome back. It's Pokemon Card Artist Spotlight time. Today we got Planeta. I'm probably going to say a lot of things wrong, mispronounce a lot of names and a lot of locations within this Bulbapedia article. Forgive me. We have, this is interesting. So I'm sure you've seen these cards with this artist mentioned. But the thing is, it's several artists, which is pretty interesting. I think it's neat to see where you have a design studio, you have different artists, and I know the digital art isn't for anyone or for everyone rather. I worded that wrong, guys. I worded that wrong. We're not turning back now. We do not edit on this channel. We don't have to. All right, Planeta, multiple artists, digital art. I think it has a great place in the TCG, in the games, in whatever it may be. I think 3D models and digital art, it's been around for a long time. And looking back now, some of the artwork that was done, the computer generated artwork that was done in early times was it was cool at the time, right? But looking back now, it's a little bit dated. So I think this is cool. I think it'll even be cool when you look back on it. I think it's nice to have a good mix of both digital art, whether it's 3D model kind of thing, whether it's digital brush strokes that kind of imitate or lend the style from hand-drawn or painted artwork. You got to have a little bit of everything, right? I like a good mix. I like seeing the different artists. I like being able to recognize some. It makes me feel like I'm an aficionado of sorts. All right, let's get into the article here so we can start looking at some artwork. I'm going to go through it all. I want you guys to let me know which cards are your favorite, if there's anything you do or do not like about 3D models, 3D art, about digital art in general, if you don't prefer it. But I think you got to have a little bit of an appreciation. It definitely takes skill for any of this stuff, whether the type of artist is of your liking or not necessarily liking or not, but if it's your favorite style. All right, Planeta is a Japanese design studio founded by illustrator Hideki Hakozaki in September 2011 that specializes in 3D computer-generated imagery for consumer games and graphical production, such as illustrations. Hakozaki established the studio with the drive to employ a new generation of artists to create and engineer new methods of delivering digital content that people can play with. It is currently based in Higashi, Tokyo, and as of April 2019 has 18 employees. Much of the studio's portfolio centers on packaging artwork for Gundam model kits and producing 3D models for numerous games across several platforms. Within the Pokemon franchise, Planeta has contributed towards the development of titles in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, produced key visuals for Pokemon Go, and produced artwork for the Pokemon trading card game. Planeta, as a studio, began illustrating cards from the Flashfire expansion. Individual artists began to be credited separately from the Forbidden Light expansion I guess. These include Kazuya Igarashi, credited as Planeta Igarashi. So as we'll look through the cards, it kind of divvies those up. First we have the Planeta just by itself, and then we'll have these four artists as well. Specifically, Yuta Ohtani, credited as Planeta Ohtani, Planeta Suji, and Juku, I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong, but I probably am, Mokizuki, credited as Planeta Mokizuki. The studio also began producing booster pack art from the Japanese Plasma Gale expansion, and has continued to do so throughout subsequent TCG eras, going on to produce art for booster packs and theme decks released outside Asia, beginning with the Breakthrough expansion. Planeta also produced key visuals for Japanese TCG events and other boxed products. With the official release of the TCG in Thailand and Indonesia, The studio was also commissioned to provide booster pack art for the first 4 localized sets. For a list of cards illustrated by Planeta, go here. We're not going to go there. We're going to go to pkmncards.com, and I'll put a link to all of the these I guess it's going to be like 5 links. 6 links. I'm going to put the 6 links down in the description as long as I don't forget. If I do forget, make sure to remind me, but I promise I will not forget. Okay, now that that's cleared. All right, so this is just the Planeta. So I'd imagine this is all the earliest stuff. Starting off with the Charizard EX, the Toxic Rogue EX. It's interesting because people kind of got bored of the EXs after a while. But at the time, I think they were pretty cool. Not long, I guess this was like not long after I got back into collecting and playing the game. It was like sometime like it was like X and Y base, I think. So a lot of this stuff is sort of like, it's like new nostalgic to me. It's cool to be around when the stuff comes out. It's also cool to go back and experience and look through sets that you weren't around for. I had a lot of fun doing that. But so as you can see here, we do have they're like a 3D model kind of computer animated scenarios here, but we have it's action packed, guys. We got all kinds of debris. We got some flame effects going on here. The electricity. I think it's good. I think all of it's good. I think it definitely serves its place. This one here, the Chandelure, definitely a nice card. Do like that. One of probably my early favorites. We got the 2/3 art cards. Those need to come back. I think maybe those need to replace like reverses or something like that. Do something like this instead. Just like an extended art version of the cards within the set, or bigger art version of cards within the set. I think it'd be kind of cool. Something different. Give us something different in the reverse slot, Pokemon. But yeah, we got quite a variety here. Again, this is all around the same era, so a lot of the similar rarities are produced here. We got the EXs, we got the Tina EX, we got the QREM EX. It'd be interesting now that we're going back to lowercase EX with Scarlett and Violet. We'll see how those mechanics work out. If we're going to see all kinds of weird stuff that is similar to like Crystal Pokemon and maybe like Delta species a little bit. I'm interested. We got the Mewtwo's. Mewtwo works really good with CG, in my opinion, at least. Same with the Rayquaza. A lot of that stuff. But there's some sort of like appreciation that needs to be had, that this is like how the Pokemon would look within the game. Versus don't get me wrong here, guys. I do love a good brush stroke. I do love a hand-drawn artwork. But at the same time, something with Pokemon, it just works. It works with the CG. That's kind of how they're meant to be. It's always like why it's a little bit weird with the Pokemon Detective Pikachu and stuff like that, where they try to make them not CG. They make them kind of like a realistic, real life kind of thing. I think they need to be like smooth or kind of similar to the artwork that's done here in order for it to work. For some reason, it's too much, too creepy for me when they're fuzzy wuzzies. All right, now we got Igarashi. Next up, back in the Ultra Necrozma days. So again, also another type of artwork where you almost kind of need it for this style of like full art or hyper rare. As you can see here, probably a lot easier to do this. You can't really do it. How are you going to do this with hand-drawn artwork? Is just not really the same. Not going to have the same effect to be able to shift back and forth. Whether or not you're a fan of this like recoloring, I know everyone out there, don't you lie to me. You love Hidden Fates. That's that same effect that they're using where they change the colors, swap the colors up, make them shiny Pokemon. People just absolutely die for it. I was going to say something more inappropriate, but I held back. All right. We got the Lugia here. Lugia GX. I think Blasty and Miles pulled one of these each. Very, very cool. Artwork here. I like the full art better than the hyper rare, but clearly the hyper rare is going to be the more desirable. You know why I love this boy. This card has, I played a lot of games with this Whimsicott GX, and I miss it. I miss it every day. But also the artwork on it itself, with the Whimsicott, it kind of works. You can give him some texture, and it's not weird or creepy. I mean, his body's got to stay smooth or whatever, but his cotton can look a little cottony. I think that's no pun intended with the previous evolution. All right, what else we got? Aerodactyl, I think also works pretty well. Dragonite, yeah, make them smooth. Is there a clay Dragonite yet? We need some of the clay Pokemon to be bigger Pokemon. Yukimori, get on that. But for the time being, like these look absolutely great to me. I think they represent like the GX era really well. And again, when you have these like recolored minimalist cards, it's good to have something simple to go back and forth from. But I don't know, I really like these two. The gold cards, the pictures don't really do them justice. Even pictures of the physical cards don't really do them justice. A lot of the gold cards, like the all gold cards, these ones are a little bit easier to photograph because they have the different colors. But Celebi, that Keldeo is pretty neat. Certain Pokemon the CG does work better or worse for. I will agree. Anything that's like smooth, like the Hatterene here, I think that's a great example of a Pokemon that works really well with it. The Graplock here, I definitely prefer the Graplock V over the full art. In my opinion, just a better one. But yeah. All right, next up, Ohtani. And you can see here, even between artists, within that branch, there's a pretty big difference. So like this Zero Aura here, it works really well. It does kind of look like it's out of that like Sonic game, that like create your own character Sonic game. But I can't even remember the name of it. Someone will know. Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon. These were the 10 promos. I think I still have some of these kicking around. Very cool. The Eevees as well. This Eevee here, it does look like it's like straight out of a game capture or something like that. I think this Eevee here with the eyebrows, he's looking feisty, you might say. So I don't know, in terms of this page here, my favorite probably the Zera Aura. And again, like there's some of the GX artwork, the regular GX artwork, that is just better than the full art, and this is one of those examples, just because they're trying to keep it minimal. Also, the Sun and Moon backgrounds on the full arts themselves they're a little bit lackluster. It is missing like texture and stuff like that that'll make it look different in real life. So the online images probably not giving it the best representation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go look up any Sun and Moon full art. Find some like actual pictures of it with the sleeve off, and at an angle or something so you can see what the texture actually does to it. All right, Suji. Next, let's check it out. Porygon Z, looking feisty. I like Porygon. Porygon and Ditto. Like, I think the more time that has gone by since Gen 1, those two have become more and more of definitely amongst my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1. We got the Alolan Persian. The Pokemon design in itself it's a little bit tough to make an Alolan Persian look badass, but you know, they tried. They certainly tried. The Victini here again, like the regular V's. Some of the regular V's are amazing. Like this Victini is awesome. It helps that I also like Victini, so that's the thing. We got the gold cards. So this is where that like CG, whether it's 5-band, whether it's Planeta, or Planeta, however you pronounce it, this is where this stuff comes into play. It would be very hard to make a gold card if you went into like crazy detail. You can't have an alternate art and do recolors and stuff the same way that you can with these ones. And that's it. It kind of defines the era, if you will. Oh, so we got to do the Amazing Rare. I remember the Amazing Rares. Every time I think of Amazing Rares, it brings me back to like all the 5-band hate, and then it was like, oh, I love Amazing Rares though, but it's just a 5-band or a Planeta, which is, some of them are pretty similar to the 5-band stuff, where it's just it's 5-band or Planeta digital art with rainbows slopped all over it. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep it in mind. I know who you are. I know that you hated on 5-band. Maybe you didn't hate on Planeta. It's more of a common thing that people hate on the 5-band artwork, but there's certain stuff, like look at this Pikachu. That works. It absolutely works. And no, it might not be your favorite artwork, but I think it's good to have some of everything. All media types, whether it's the Yukimori stuff, whether it's any of the crochet boys, all of that stuff it's good to have that variety. All right, we're getting into the rainbows, and they did switch up rainbows, but I kind of hope they retire rainbows. I say this all the time, but I think they should have retired the rainbow rare in Sun and Moon. It kind of would have gave it that special era feeling. Celebi VMAX here, pretty cool. I like the swirls, the colors work pretty well in around that. Leafeon VMAX as well. So they did a really good job on the VMAX Pokemon here. We got the Glaceon, we got the Leafeon. The full art's definitely an improvement in Sword and Shield. You can't really blame that on any particular artist. That's kind of the format that they went with. But there's a reason why those don't get as much love. Also, Zacian, the V-Union cards. I was never really a huge fan. It kind of sucks that these are off-center, that we don't get to see the whole thing all together. And I've made exceptions in my binders to make sure that like all 4 cards are in one spot, and then I'll kind of like fill in the rest of the numbers around it. But yeah, that like this Zacian is amazing. Like this shows like. It's kind of a shame that we can't see like a V-Union from every individual artist, or more artists at least, because when given that much space, I think you can do some crazy stuff. And hopefully I don't know if we'll ever, I guess they won't be V-Unions because we won't have V's anymore, but I hope we see more of these multi-cards. I hope we see more alt arts that are done by different artists, just to see like what they can do. And again, might not be for everyone, depending on the art style or artist that's doing it. But personally, I like to see what happens when an artist is given a different format of a card. If you're just given like there's certain criteria that you have to fall within. If you're doing the hyper rare stuff, it's got to be pretty simple to like outline and toss up. Otherwise, like if it's too complicated, even the swirls and stuff like that get removed. But if it's too complicated, it's not really going to work when you have to have it in the different formats. We get the Lumineon to finish off here. All right, last but not least, we have Mokizuki. All right, let's finish off here. We got the Mew. I do like this Mew. I don't know if he's like falling down from the tree. What's going on there exactly? But he's a good one. The Venusaur here is a classic. I love this Venusaur. I'm a Venusaur fan in terms of like my favorite starter from Gen 1 is Bulbasaur. I'm not really a starter fanatic regardless, but I do. That's a good Venusaur. 3D or like computer generated Venusaurs and Blastoises, even Charizards can be they can be hit or miss if they're not quite right. But I love this guy. He's a little derpy, but I think they did a great job on that. Wailord here, pretty sweet. We got the Rangaroo, the golden boy. Again, the VMAXs are awesome. There's not much going on in the background, but you still have that kind of effects and stuff that are going on around it that work, that it doesn't feel empty. Like the full arts, even like the Sun and Moon ones feel really empty. Even the Sword and Shield ones do feel a little bit empty because it's usually just some kind of pattern in the background, but at least contrasting colors for the most part. The Eevee VMAX, the Victini VMAX. So lots of VMAXs here. The Crobat, getting into the shinies. I'm surprised that they didn't end up doing more of the shinies, but there are definitely some. And I guess we just looked at them. Corviknight VMAX. Yeah, the VMAXs look good. I think they're a nice looking card. Gold cards in general. People love their gold cards. I know Adam's a huge fan of any gold card whatsoever, whether it's an item or not. The gold Pokemon, the shiny Pokemon, maybe a little bit underappreciated, since like everyone's like hidden fates, but I guess that also has the appeal of it being Gen 1, so you got to kind of give the rest of them a little bit of a break. We got the Ray, we got the Crow. This Crobat is nice. That nice little effect there. We got the Venomous Fang. Again, I'm not a Crobat fan, but that's a good Crobat digital art. I guess Crobat in general, the bats kind of lend themselves well to CG. We got the Pikachu VMAX, in case you guys forgot about him. Sword and Shield, the 062 promo, Black Star promo. This Ray, I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. Dragon Pulse, Spiral Burst. He's got something going on. Serena kicking. We got the Kingler V. The Raikou. All right. So yeah, I think I'd have to choose the Venusaur for this particular artist. We got the Mewtwo V-Stars. This Salmazenta is pretty sick. I will give it that. These Mewtwo's, I'm sort of on the fence of whether I like them or not. I still need to repurchase. I think it was the rainbow one. What else we got here? We got a couple more Mewtwo's. Again, the Mewtwo's, it kind of, I mean, because he's at the backstory, the shape, the design of Mewtwo, I feel like he's meant for computer animation. We got the Tina, the Sword and Shield 259. Do like that. Superior, one of my favorite starters. Again, if you can't tell, most of the ones that I like are the grass starters. Mawile V-Star. Do like that. Mostly, it's a nice card, but I think the V-Stars in general, I just really like. The card design is nice. It's nice to get something different after all the VMAXs that we received. But also, Mawile being a fan favorite, I thought for sure in Sword and Shield I wasn't getting a Mawile. And then we get a set with like 5 of them in it. We got the hyper version of the Mawile there. The Lugia V-Star. The Unknown. We got the Gold Lugia. And again, so when you have to like translate your Lugia V-Star into a Lugia V-Star Hyper, but it also has to be a Lugia V-Star Gold card, Secret Rare, whatever you want to call it. It's something. And then we have some of these. These are pretty cool. I think people, I don't know. I think these are kind of underrated. These gold and black cards. I think it'd be cool to see if there's enough of them that come out to see what they look like all together. Speaking of that, I haven't really seen anyone put all of them together in general. So that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another one of these. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but I enjoy doing it. And I know there are select individuals that really like watching through these. I do appreciate it if you let me know which ones are your favorite or not your favorite, what you think, whether it's good or bad. I think there's ways to appreciate every single one of these artists that I've featured. And even if it's not your cup of tea, you gotta have that appreciation that there's such a nice variety of artwork within the Pokemon trading card game at this point in time that like we're pretty spoiled. All right, thanks for tuning in. Join the Discord, and I'll see you next time. Bye.